Welcome to Sway's Sports Plus Protocol walkthrough on taking a baseline. Before getting started with the test, it's important to verify your mobile device is working properly. To do this, select More in the bottom right corner, and then select Hardware Verification. Follow the instructions and set the device down on a flat surface to complete the test. If the accelerometer within the device is working properly, you will get a confirmation. If you get a response indicating the device is not working, try the test again. If the device continues to indicate it's not working properly, you should use another device for testing. Once you've verified that your mobile device is working correctly, it is time to perform your baseline session with your unique 5-digit session code. Instruct the individuals you'd like to test to download the Sway app if they have not already done so. Once the app is downloaded, have them put their device in Do Not Disturb mode, open the app, and select Have a Session Code from the bottom of the login screen. It's important that the device is not put into airplane mode because they must be connected to the internet so test results can be uploaded to the Sway system. Once they select Have a Session Code, they'll enter the 5-digit session code you give them and be prompted to enter their demographic information. If the name and date of birth match an existing profile within your organization, the data from the new baseline test you're about to administer will be added to the existing profile. If not, a new profile will be created. Once the profile setup has been completed, a baseline procedure screen will appear with 5 tests to complete. All 5 of these tests need to be completed. The 5 evaluations your athletes will complete are balance, reaction time, impulse control, inspection time, and memory. To administer a balance test, first remind your athletes to pay attention to any left or right foot specific instruction. Instruct the subject to firmly press the phone against their chest with both hands with the screen of the phone facing their chest. Remind the athlete to make sure their feet are toe to heel in a straight line during the tandem stance, and if they become unstable, to quickly step to the side and regain the balanced position required for the testing. Remind the athlete if they become unstable during a single leg stance to quickly step down and regain the balanced position required for that test. Make sure athletes are not holding the device away from their body or using one hand to try and keep their balance. Each balance test should take roughly 10 seconds to complete. The phone will let you know when the test is finished by flashing a light, vibrating, and if the volume is turned on, making a noise. To measure simple reaction time, have the subject hold the device in landscape mode with one hand on each side of the device as instructed on the screen. When the screen changes color, the user is instructed to move the device quickly in any direction. There's no need to repeatedly shake the device though, just make one quick, intentional move. The accelerometer within the device will accurately measure when the device begins movement and will record an accurate response time. 5 trials are required to get an accurate measure of simple reaction time. To measure impulse control, have the subject hold the phone in landscape mode with one hand on each side of the phone. The instructions on the screen will explain the impulse control test. When the screen flashes a green check mark, the subject will move the phone in any direction. When the screen flashes a red X, the subject should keep the phone perfectly still. The impulse test is a measure of reaction time, but with the added complexity of requiring the user to differentiate between a stimulus requiring the response and a stimulus requiring the user inhibit a response. To measure inspection time, have the subject hold the phone in landscape mode with one hand on each side of the phone. The instructions on the screen will explain the inspection time test. 2 lines will appear on the screen. The subject is to tap the side of the phone with the longer of the 2 lines. This inspection time test is a measure of visual perception, which is a foundational component of cognitive function. To measure delayed recall and working memory, have the subject hold the device in portrait mode in one hand. The instruction screen will explain how to perform the memory test. To begin the delayed recall test, press Begin Test, and a 3-letter sequence will be displayed that should be memorized. That 3-letter sequence will be displayed for 3 seconds and later recalled after the working memory test. The working memory test provides a sequence of squares, starting with 1 square and adding an additional square for each correct sequence that the user inputs. Once the sequence is not repeated correctly, the user will then be asked to recall the 3 letters from the beginning of the memory test.